Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of June 5th, 2025. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an Infantry Officer. This phase of operations reveals a deliberate synchronization of combined arms maneuvers with high-tempo strike campaigns aimed at degrading UAF strategic reserves and NATO-supplied hardware. Russian emphasis on EW, counter-battery radar, and foreign-sourced platforms suggests a pivot toward long-term degradation of force-multiplying capabilities. The scale of Ukrainian casualties and material losses signals reduced maneuver bandwidth, likely impacting operational continuity. If momentum persists, Ukrainian forces may be compelled to realign defensive priorities or risk fragmentation across multiple axes, particularly along the Kupiansk-Seversk corridor and southern Zaporizhia.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Colonel Oguntoye, let's begin with Sumy Oblast. Reports indicate the North Group made gains there. What happened in that sector?
The Sumy front has been especially active over the past 72 hours. On June 5th, units from our North Group of forces conducted coordinated offensive maneuvers that culminated in the targeting and defeat of multiple Ukrainian formations, including mechanized and airborne assault brigades, as well as a specialized Jaeger unit and an assault regiment linked to Ukraine's Special Operations Forces. Our primary objectives were twofold: deny the enemy freedom of movement along critical corridors and eliminate forward-deployed strike elements. This was achieved with methodical combined arms integration. Armor led the breach, followed by infantry suppression and artillery neutralization of fallback positions. We estimate over 180 enemy personnel were neutralized, along with several artillery assets and a high-value electronic warfare station, indicating a deliberate effort to disrupt our communications. Their efforts were unsuccessful.
Let's talk about the Kharkov-Donetsk axis. What can you tell us about operations by the West Group in that corridor?
That corridor continues to be one of our most active and strategically sensitive theaters. The West Group's operations centered around the Kupiansk-Lushchenkovo-Borovaya line. These locations are part of a strategic belt feeding Ukrainian forces deeper into Donetsk. We engaged enemy formations composed of mechanized, assault, and airmobile brigades. What made this particular engagement stand out was the volume of Western-supplied material, U.S.-made M113S, British Snatch vehicles, and artillery systems such as the Panzerhaubitze and Bogdana. 8 Ukrainian ammunition depots were destroyed, effectively denying them resupply in that region for the immediate term.
What was this all about?
This engagement wasn't just about seizing ground, it was about cutting off their ability to reinforce and fight in depth. Our forces achieved favorable positions and prepared the ground for continued maneuver.
Shifting to the southern and central sectors in Donetsk, it sounds like these were among the most intense battles of the day?
You're absolutely right. These sectors represent the heart of Ukrainian operational depth. In the southern axis, we faced multiple Ukrainian brigade-level formations including mountain assault and motorized infantry units. Our primary aim was to fragment their layered defenses near Nikiforovka and Konstantinovka. We eliminated around 240 enemy fighters, neutralized NATO-supplied artillery, and destroyed an slashed TPQ-50 radar system, disrupting their ability to conduct effective counter-battery fire.
And the center group of forces?
Meanwhile, in the central sector, the tempo was even higher. We executed a large-scale advance involving engagements with 8 Ukrainian brigades. One of the highlights was the destruction of a U.S.-supplied Bradley infantry fighting vehicle and a British-made 155mm FH-70. These are not just symbolic victories, they severely limit the enemy's ability to perform mobile defense and fire missions in that area.
The East and DNEPR groups also made gains. What's the significance of their operations on June 5th?
The East Group's primary focus was on pushing into depth positions and eliminating Ukrainian mobility. Their victories in the Karl Marx and Komar sectors illustrate growing gaps in Ukrainian defense cohesion, especially as they rely increasingly on airmobile tactics to plug holes.
And the Dnieper group of forces?
The Dnieper Group, operating in Zaporizhia and Kherson, targeted both maneuver brigades and rear echelon assets. Here, we see a tactical shift toward attritional warfare, targeting Grad MLRS vehicles, coastal defense units, and EW systems. These actions set conditions for isolating the southern flank should a larger strategic maneuver be initiated.
Finally, let's talk about air operations. There's mention of HIMARS and UAV interceptions. What's the broader implication here?
Air defense is now a cornerstone of the operation. On June 5th, our systems intercepted one Mars rocket and over 150 unmanned aerial vehicles. Of note, 60 of those UAVs were intercepted outside the zone of operations, suggesting Ukraine is attempting to broaden the conflict's geographic impact or conduct deep recon and shaping attacks. Our layered defense network is calibrated to deal with such escalation. Operational tactical aviation, UAV strikes, and missile artillery continue to degrade Ukrainian logistics nodes, especially UAV assembly workshops, storage facilities, and mercenary deployment points. These aren't random strikes, they're aimed at severing Ukraine's operational continuity.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. Today, the Israeli military is recovering the bodies of 2 hostages in southern Gaza while tensions rise as rockets fired from Syria prompt Israeli airstrikes. An Israeli attack in Gaza has resulted in the deaths of 3 journalists. Meanwhile, very limited food aid is reaching desperate crowds amid ongoing IDF shootings and looting in Gaza. In the West Bank, Israeli settlers have attacked and set fire to homes in an occupied village.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive Frontline updates from commanders in theater.